As a member of the Cayuzo species, Zuvio reigned from the outer rim world of Fitrong. However, he found himself living on Jakku as Nima outposts rose from the planet's golden sands. To combat the settlement's shady business and lawless nature, Zuvio was thrusted into the position of Constable. As the head of both the Office of the Constable and the Nima Outpost Militia, the Cayuzo monitored incoming and departing starships, interrogated ship captains, dealt with cases of theft, and filled out a lot of paperwork. Patrolling duties were left to Zuvio's two deputies, Drago and Streen, who also happened to be his cousins. Due to his role, the Constable was granted part-time use of Nima's secretary droid, CZ-1G5. The droid was around 300 years old according to Zuvio's best guess, but his work rate seemingly proved otherwise. CZ-1G5 performed tasks exceptionally quickly and accommodated Zuvio's archaic preference for paper stock over digital copies. As the years passed by, the Constable considered the droid to be the closest thing he had to a friend. On a hotter than average day on Jakku, Zuvio found himself filling out paperwork alone. Unusually, CZ-1G5 was nowhere to be seen. Just as the Constable began to worry, a huge explosion shook the walls of his office. Zuvio rushed to the scene where he found a damaged banking ship. The vessel belonged to Ricard Lovis, a banker who regularly managed financial transactions for the people of Nima Outpost. As his deputies controlled the crowd of onlookers, Zuvio spoke with Lovis. Without a shadow of a doubt, the ship had been robbed. The cargo hold was empty and the computer core held no financial records. Ricard claimed such a task was impossible due to the core's encryption. However, Zuvio noticed a discrepancy. The core used the exact same kind of encryption module that was located in his office. The Constable immediately suspected CZ-1G5 due to the droid's earlier behaviour and the fact he was equipped to access such modules. Unfortunately, before Zuvio's return, 1G5 emptied the office's weapon supply and stole a speeder bike. Knowing that the rogue secretary droid could not afford to buy his way off the planet, Zuvio made his way to an abandoned smuggler's camp that was used to hide ships and avoid docking fees. As he sped across the golden sands of Jakku, he wondered why the faithful droid had betrayed the Nima community. The seasoned lawman easily followed CZ-1G5's trail to an abandoned moisture farm. However, he underestimated the droid's intelligence, which nearly had him killed. Narrowly avoiding sniper fire from the farmhouse, the Constable had to quickly think on his feet. Realising his opponent's weapon was a Zerka 93U hunting rifle, Zuvio exploited its reload time to advance his approach. In the farmhouse, the Cayuzo ran into 7 droids, one of which was littered with his office's supply of grenades. The ensuing explosion injured Zuvio, but he picked himself up from the ground to uncover a startling truth. As it turned out, the droids were not rogue, rather under the influence of someone else. When the Constable confronted his former colleague, the droid insisted he always was a crooked thief. However, Zuvio's questions inadvertently caused CZ-1G5 to reveal the robbery's real mastermind, who was none other than Ricard Lovis. Armed with the information, the Cayuzo was forced to shoot his longtime ally. When Zuvio returned to Nima Outpost, he immediately arrested Ricard and sentenced him to life in prison. After CZ-1G5 was rebuilt to once more serve the Nima community, both he and the Constable felt little remorse for Lovis's fate, believing that a day spent foiling a corrupt banker's plot was better than a quiet one. Zuvio still held the position of Constable around 30 years after the Battle of Endor. Unfortunately, he and his deputies could only watch as First Order stormtroopers gave chase to 2 individuals harbouring a fugitive droid. To learn more about Zuvio's personality and equipment, click the link on screen or the one in the description. Now it's time for this week's question. Do you wish Constable Zuvio's scene in The Force Awakens made the final cut? Let me know in the comments below. To have your say in future Star Wars The Force Awakens lore videos, head on over to thekangazans.com and get voting. Thanks for watching, and for more Star Wars related content, keep locked here to the Kangazans. Before the existence of Nima Outpost or much of anything else on the planet, New Republic and Imperial starships fell from the sky above to litter the sands below. However, unlike their enemies' vessels, some of the New Republic fighters and cruisers suffered from crash damage as opposed to battle damage. As a result, most believed that when the Imperial officers realised they were beaten in the Battle of Jakku, they locked onto the New Republic warships with their tractor beams and dragged them down to the surface below. No one knew exactly why the Empire made such a drastic move, but that didn't stop those around Nema Outpost washing tables from speculating and theorising.